The worst sitcom pilot ever made, it never got commissioned for a show, is about, and this is real, is about Hitler and Eva Braun as like a wacky couple who don't get on with their Jewish next door neighbors. Right. Guess the name. Go.
Bunker Down.
Heil Honey, I'm Home.
Oh my god.
It's awful.
Is that how it happened? Did it come in, was it like was it satire?
Hey Screenmates, I'm Nick.
I'm Dan.
And this is Chris, the Screenplay Fish, aka today.
Please be a good one.
Gird your loins for this.
I'm very excited.
To celebrate the Oscars, Gil Ermo Il Tuna.
Okay, so here's my thoughts on that. Like all Oscar films, it starts off very, very good there, but then it just, at the tail end, the wheels fall off. Why tuna? Why not just go with Gil Toro?
Look,
it's the work's done for you.
No, because it was a commitment to the whole bit. That one comes in from Noel Barrett, 3D.
You know, Noel, that was, I'm gonna give you a 7 out of 10 for that.
Gil Ermo El Tuna. It just stops being, it just begins with the same letter. Okay, cool. But today is not about Gil Ermo, even though every episode of this show is about naming that fish. And if you want to name that fish, use the hashtag in the comments, name that fish. Today is about the Nintendo Switch. Woo! Has been out for about a year now.
Here's one. We have one here.
We
turn it around, but it glares.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the main problem with the Switch. It catches all the light. It's been out for a year. Nintendo are very happy with what's been happening. We just thought we'd talk over, because you and I feel like we're the office Switch boys.
We love it.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think we should call ourselves that, but but we love the Switch.
I did not expect to love the Switch as much as I ended up loving the Switch. I remember when I got it, I got it with Zelda, obviously, like everyone did. And I very vividly remember the first night I was playing Zelda on my TV, and I was like, oh, I'm pretty tired, but I really want to keep playing it. And I was like, oh snap.
Oh.
Pulled it out of that dock.
Yeah.
Went upstairs, played it in handheld for another 4 hours, got like 2 hours sleep. It was just, it's such a great piece of design and the way that works is just game changing.
That is, I think that's the key to a lot of the success is it has that, it shouldn't be that smooth. It shouldn't be like you take it off and it's there and you put it in. There should be 3 buttons that you need to press. Yeah. Like a cable that you need to like plug into other things.
It has
like,
to buffer.
Yeah. It's so simple. But you know who agrees with this? 14.86 million people, because that's how many.
Excuse me?
Yeah. As of, I think it's about January this year, that's how many Switches it sold. Overtaken the lifetime sales of the Wii U in its 4-year lifespan, which sold 13.5 million.
Yeah, didn't it? It overtook that really early, I'm pretty sure. They were like, basically like, it's on track to just absolutely smash the Wii U. In the first like month, they were like, it's done more than the Wii U did in its first year. Yes.
It pretty much, every single time you mention the Switch, you have to say how much it's better than the Wii U.
Because they're just like, we're so... But it feels like the Wii U, without the Wii U, we would have never gotten the Switch. That was kind of like a proof of concept.
I 100% agree. I'm gonna put up the little 100% thing every time I say 100%. It's also oversold the PS2 for the same amount of time out sales.
Oh, so in the first year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I just wanted to go like, you know, what do we think it is about the Switch that just captured people besides the effortless docking and undocking?
I've told you what I like. Yes. What is it about the Switch that you like?
Well, for me, I love handheld gaming.
Yeah.
I'm actually a really big fan of handheld gaming. Handheld gaming, the problem I've had with it before the Switch, between like the DS and the Switch, was that it didn't know its own limitations. Like, it wanted to be more than it wanted
like the DS?
No, like the Vita and the PS. Like, I loved the Vita. I loved the PSP. But what they were always trying to be is like, we're trying to take like all the games that you love from the current insane consoles that you own, and we're trying to shove them in here.
Yeah, that term, that console quality experience, was what the Vita was sold on.
Like,
and
know your place.
That's not what I want.
That's not. I didn't buy you for that. The Switch, but the Switch knows its place. It knows like, people complain about the hardware limitations in terms of like the graphics. I think it looks great. You design games for the platform that you're on. That's why Nintendo have always been so successful, because their art style is the thing that like makes everything look better.
Exactly.
But then the fact that it can be a TV console means that you go, oh no, what this is actually doing, it's not trying to take things from a powerful console and put it on here. It's taking these great handheld experiences and then putting them in your living room as well, which I think is super
absolutely. Key. It's funny you bring up the Vita, because I loved my Vita for all the indie games I play on them, like Super Meat Boy, Hotline Miami. Oh man, I played so many indie games on my Vita, but now I've got the Switch, and the Switch has become my go-to indie game console, because it's like, I just like playing things on a nice little intimate screen like that. I'm playing Oxenfree on the Switch. Night in the Woods on the Switch.
Woods.
Oh, get some feelings about
Darkest Dungeon,
20-year-old.
like, all this
man.
stuff.
Celeste. Dan Crowd's Game of the Year 2018.
I think that half of the appeal of the Switch is people rediscovering back catalogs of other platforms.
Well, that's the other thing. There were so many good games on the Wii U that no one's played.
And so that is why it's a Wii U emulator for me.
Absolutely. You got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yep.
I would say the best Mario Kart game that's been made.
It has the word deluxe.
Actually, no, second, because Double Dash is the best Mario Kart ever made. And then you got Tropical Freeze coming out, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Incredible platformer that no one played.
Yes.
Like,
I didn't play it because I didn't know Wii U. It's like, I want Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Just give me that game.
Give me that.
Just give me that game, because I played like 15 minutes of that, and I was like, I'm in love with this, but I'm not buying a Wii U.
What do you think? The thing about the Switch is it had such an incredibly strong first year of software support.
It had an incredibly strong first day of game. It was like, there was that crazy statistic that more copies of Zelda were sold than actual Switches. Because they were like running out of Switches, but people were like, I gotta get my hands on Zelda though. Maybe I could just lick it and I'll get a bunch of views on YouTube.
At this point, are you afraid about Nintendo keeping up that quality of releases?
Yeah, so
I am. I'm definitely very concerned.
Yeah, that is a bit of a problem. They had such a stellar year in terms of exclusives. Like, if you put aside the fact that it is the best platform to play an indie on, the exclusives of last year, we got, we mentioned Zelda, Super Mario Odyssey, Snipper Clips, Splatoon 2, Mario and Rabbids. Like, there were just these great games coming out.
Yeah, and like brand new, like, blockbuster titles that, like, are gonna start massive franchises. Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Oh my god.
Please give me more of that.
I cannot wait to see what they do with that next.
But the problem is that looking forward, it's got cool games coming, but it just doesn't feel like it's on the in terms of the immediate future, it's not on the same level as that first year. So you've got Mario Tennis, which, like, I think will be fun, but I mean, I could be wrong, and I will play Mario Tennis, I'm like, this is the best thing ever. But Mario Tennis isn't exciting me in the same way as, like, Mario Odyssey was.
Yep.
We've got Kirby coming, Bayonetta 3 is an exclusive, Metroid, Pokemon, and Fire Emblem, but these are all, like, they're being
developed. Yoshi's being developed, stuff like that. You know there's another Zelda in there. You know there's another Mario.
But in terms of things coming out, like, Tennis is kind of the one that's coming out next. That is.
Yeah, and then there's Labo as well this year.
So yeah, and then Labo's the other thing where you go, which I think, here's this crazy idea of a handheld that turns into a home console and back and forth, and it's got this really beautiful screen, and it's got the split Joy-Cons. Like, all of this is a very strange design, but it all kind of works. And then a year later, they're like, oh, also now here's the second crazy thing, which is, like, it's now a cardboard toy in a world where Toys to Life died. Like, it's just died.
Yeah, and like, it seems like Nintendo's like, we used to make a bunch of stupid peripherals. Remember the Wii? You get like Wii tennis rackets and Wii boomerangs and all kinds of crap. Now they're like, let's cut out that manufacturing cost. Let's make them out cardboard.
Are you looking forward to Labo?
I'm not the target market for Labo.
No.
I'm interested to see how incredibly difficult it is to put together all those intricate cardboard designs. But do I want to play it? Not really. I want, if it was like...
Do you think it will be successful?
Yes. Of course it will.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because I would buy it for my niece, who's 2. And I'd be like,
well,
I would buy her.
She really shouldn't be in front of screens at that age.
Well, she's gonna be, damn it.
Yeah,
she's gonna learn.
She's gonna be fishing.
Yeah, she's gonna be casting cardboard fish and shit. But yeah, I just think it is gonna go for like 8 to 10-year-olds, and they're just gonna be mad for it. I used to love making papercraft and origami and stuff when I was a kid.
Did you?
Yeah, man.
That's really cute.
Oh, thanks.
What was your favorite thing to make?
I used to make papercraft models of myself. So.
Oh my god, you're such a pretentious asshole. I've had a couple of problems with it, but they've only been really minor things. The biggest issue for me is that the indie sport got really popular and people just started porting over a bunch of crap to it.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but the store is horrible.
Yeah.
That I feel like if you put out your game a month later, you need to scroll down this massive list to get to this game, and it's like the discoverability there. I would love a console to come out and really curate. I would love to go like, no, we're a closed platform, and we decide what's going on here, and that we're not going to put out a bunch of crap that no one buys. Like, there was an insane statistic. What were you telling me a couple of days ago about how many games on Steam go unplayed?
35%.
44%. 44% of games on Steam go unplayed. Unplayed. It means no one booted it up for 1 second.
That's crazy.
And so that, like, you know, I would love to see ecosystem sort of go, no, there's a level of quality, because I think that's what was surprising about the Switch at the beginning, where it went, oh my god, it feels like every game that's coming out is actually something that I have to play.
Like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of my biggest issue. That, and I hate the bezel.
I mean,
I hate the bezel.
My biggest issues are the online experience is subpar.
Oh, it's about to get worse, baby.
I know.
Worse for a price.
For a console in 2018 to be what this is awful.
Do you do much multiplayer on this?
I tried to with Splatoon, and it just became too tedious for me, and I was like, nah, I don't do it anymore, so I just don't do it.
Was the voice comms? Or
yeah, all the voice stuff and like playing with my mates, it was just too hard, so I just don't do it, really.
Yeah.
But I guess like that would be my big complaint. And also there's no shop music, because the Wii Shop had the best music of anything ever made.
That is true.
And the fact that there's no incredible little jingle when I boot up the eShop on this one.
And I also don't like the fact that on the 3DS you buy a game and it's a little parcel.
Yeah.
And you tap it and it unwraps.
You want that on this?
And your game is in there? Yeah, that's right.
But this is a bit more adult, I think. They're going for like a grown-up feel to it.
I mean, I agree, but it's I mean, that initial trailer was all like, hey, look how many like rooftop parties you can have.
Look how many friends you can have
while you're playing FIFA on this tiny shitty controller. But at the same time, it's completely like, it's so kid friendly, and I guess like, you know, you look at something like Labo coming forward, and that's aiming for that. But the big question with this is now what to do with the 3DS.
You stop. That's
you
it.
Stop?
Yeah, no more.
Stop that?
I said when my prediction was when the Switch came out, we're going to see a massive wind down in 3DS, and Nintendo's going to be like, we're going to focus mainly on the Switch now. Because also, got to remember, they're making a Pokemon for this. That is huge.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to eat into your usual, who would go out and buy a 3DS specifically for Pokemon. They're just going to be like, well, we're going to buy a Switch now.
Yeah.
And that's a more expensive console and gets them into all the ecosystem of that. So then they can pick up stuff like Zelda, Super Mario, all of those games. Just makes sense to start winding down, focusing on one console, because then you're not splitting development teams, you're not making multiple games, you're not spending 2 years making a game that's only going to like one console. Like, all of a sudden, man.
I agree. I just can't, you can't go past the fact that the 3DS
is incredibly popular.
It's just so popular, and it just continues to sell in this really, for years it just sold, it was that thing that ticked over in the background where I was like, I haven't picked up my 3DS for a year.
Yeah.
And then it's still like topping charts in terms of the amount of console sales, and it's something that as a cheaper thing, I don't know, like if you have a kid that's, you know, 6 or 7 or something, there's a slight hesitation handing them something this sort of, like, would you, do you let your daughter hold this? I'm getting small nods behind the camera. Oh,
she prefers to leave it in the dock.
Leave it in the dock? Yeah. It's just, you know, that's a big screen. Yeah. Whereas, you know, you give something like a 2DS, you could kill a man with a 2DS.
Absolutely, and it would come out unscathed.
Yeah. And then also, the 2DS just has this enormous DS back catalog. Yeah. It's huge.
All of that.
And a lot of those don't port over.
Okay, but if they were to offer DS and 3DS emulation on this.
What, so it's like side-by-side screens?
Well, because that's what they did on... I feel like that's the illegal version. The emulators are like 2 screens up and down.
Don't tell anybody.
But like, if you could... What? Virtual console?
It doesn't work like that. No, I was like, what if there was somewhere where this could be the bottom screen and the TV could be the top screen? Ah! Ha! Just like a long cable. The thing that we didn't want at the beginning of this that would make it really fussy. Yeah, I mean, if there was some way you could emulate that stuff in there and I could buy, yes, I would be into that, but...
Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
In the next year.
Yep.
What do you want out of this? 3 things.
Three things.
3 things that you want in the next year of the Nintendo Switch.
I want to love something as much as I loved Zelda. I want something where I just go, Nintendo have created a platform that they can put their magic on, and I want that. 2, I want it to have, I really want to see a big push with the good Wii U games coming to this, because I feel like there are a lot of great games that didn't get their due. Obviously, we're seeing that beginning to happen, but I think that we can do more because those games can be opened up to a wider audience. And I want another one that gets rid of this goddamn bezel.
Okay.
I just hate the bezel.
You hate the bezel?
It just takes up so much space. The bezel's so huge. What about you?
I want Virtual Console of some capacity.
Yeah.
But I want it to be like GameCube Virtual Console.
Yeah.
Would be amazing. Get Twin Snakes on there.
I think I like the idea of that, but I just know I'll never play it. But I want it for you.
But Twin Snakes.
Twin Snakes.
Solid.
Yeah, no,
Solid Snake riding a rocket.
Yeah, I'm never gonna play any of those.
Oh, so good. I do want a second one. I want something that has a bit more internal memory and
the internal memory
just a bit of a redesign.
Yep.
Would be great. And I want another just like shockingly out of left field, incredible title.
Like
which
Mario
is,
Rabbids
I feel like
style.
that's not too much to expect.
No,
I want you to make another 10 out of 10 game.
Revolutionize and create a new genre. Yeah, I mean something like a Mario Rabbids where like, I was not expecting these two things to work together.
Or Breath of the Wild where you're like, oh my god, this is that sense of adventure.
I had given up on the Zelda franchise.
So had I.
When Zelda went 3D, Zelda became bad, and it now got good again. It's a hot, truthful take.
Ocarina of Time, bad game, says Nick.
I think I've said publicly that's the worst Zelda game. Now it's time for your screen set. Our first screen say comes in from Zero Dan Smith, who says, I love the portability. I've played mine almost entirely on planes, trains, and buses. Which I feel like should be...
That's a classic film, I believe.
The automobile... Is a bus an automobile?
Yes.
We'll throw up the definition of an automobile.
It's just bus.
Interesting. It also has a solid library of games after 1 year, so that's a very good reason. I mean, the portability is incredible. Like I said, I love portable games, and it is bridging that gap between mobile games, which are generally shitty unless they're like, or not shitty, but just like filler. They're filler unless they're like a port of something that was on the PC before, and something that is, you know, console quality. Comrade Mick says, I've still yet to see a compelling reason to buy one. On top of Nintendo's usual iterations on major properties, I've not seen any games released for it that make me want to outlay more money when I'm already drifting away from console gaming.
I will say that my argument to the iteration argument against Nintendo is a flawed argument, because Nintendo is always, like, they will put mechanics in one level of Mario that you could build an entire 40-hour game around, and it's literally only there for 5 minutes. And you're like, oh my god, this level, the design in this level is incredible. And then they just move on completely to a whole new thing.
The stretchy caterpillar thing in Odyssey could have been
that's basically that's Nobi Boy. Basically.
And we would have gone, this is a great Steam game.
exactly. But yeah, that's the beauty of Nintendo. And also, it's very hard, like VR, to explain why Breath of the Wild is so magical until you actually experience it. What was this young man's name?
Comrade Mick.
Comrade Mick. I say you go out and you borrow a friend's Switch and you play Breath of the Wild to really experience that triangle design and that sense of adventure that's in there. It's unparalleled in video games.
And your friend should be fine lending it to you, you dirty commie, because that's like part of your whole...
That's how it works.
That's your ethos. But I do see a good point here that if you don't like Nintendo games, what is on here is mainly PC games.
Yeah.
Like, it's mainly, like, you need to love... But I think with that iteration thing, I see Nintendo games as genres. Like, Mario is a genre of games.
Yes.
So it's like, yes, we get new Mario games all the time, but it's not like, you know, Gears of War, where you go like, oh, I don't want to see 15 Gears of War games, even though Andrew very much wants to see. He's nodding very, very loudly. Mario, it's a genre, so you're putting new mechanics in there, like you said. And then finally, Wet Yeti.
Wet Yeti
says, as a PC player, it has pulled me out of the lonely office and into the living room.
Oh.
Now I try to get every game on Switch if it's available. Might be a gateway for me picking up an Xbox One or PS4.
That's a really interesting point.
Yeah, because it is that thing where I now get disappointed if, I mean, you know, this is work bullshit, but like if someone sends me a code for a game, they're like, oh, check this out. I tried to redeem one on the Switch and it was like, invalid code. I was like, oh, it's a Steam game. I was like, damn it. Like,
this would be perfect.
And it would have been a perfect Switch game. I'm like, now I'm trapped at the PC, as opposed to like, this is ruining indie PC gaming for me.
If the developers of Into the Breach are watching, can we get Into the Breach on Switch?
Do it,
please.
What are you, cowards?
Come on, and FTL as well.
You cowards.
Breach at the beach.
Oh, Breach at the beach!
Breach at the beach! Alright guys, well thank you very much. What are your opinions on the first year of the Nintendo Switch? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What do you love? What do you hate? Let us know in the comments, along with the hashtag NameThatFish. If you want to name that fish, you have to top Gil, Ermo, Il, Tuna. And I feel like it's hard to top the first half and very easy to top the word tuna. But it's nice that you tried. 3D something. What's your name? Noxious 3D?
Noxious 3D.
Noel Barrett 3D. Not even close. And while you're here watching me get names wrong, why don't you watch more of our content? You subscribe down there. You can like the video. You can turn on notifications.
Oh my god, you can be notified.
Yeah.
What's over here?
That's a video. And down there.
Oh.
Yeah.